Hi guys, welcome to Becodewala. I welcome you to the part 4 of our Todo MERN Stack application. And in the last part, we have built our register page, login page UI, and the slices or slice tag slice, theme slice, and we have completed our store. Now we have to add the functionality to our register page. In the last part, we have just built the UI, how it's look, but we have not added functionality like when the user log in and it will call the API and user will register to the database from our server, and then it will respond our dashboard. So all this functionality we will write now, and let's start with the register page. In the register page we will add the functionality. We have imported our React user state from React, then link use navigate, but we have not used it, and the Axios, right? So let's import other things like import. We can import use selector. So from the React Redux to select our store, and then we can use another thing like import like root state, comma, what other things we can use App.tsx. So when we are building our store, right, here we have exported root state, app dispatch, use dispatch, everything to each our store. And in our store, what are the things we have? We have built all the login thunk and the register thunk. It will call the API on the backend URL, and it will give us the response, and it will store our user data in the local storage. So let's add all this functionality here. So we can import register from register from store slice. So we have to import our register slice. So here in the auth slice we have a register slice. You can see that we have exported, right? So we are importing that slice to each our register slice. So we have imported React use state, link use navigate to navigate to the other page, use selector, and the Axios error for the errors, and the here root state and use dispatch to handle our state, and here we have a register, right? Now we can create the other thing like we have a name, email, password, confirm password, and password error, but we have to use dispatch to handle our login, register, dispatch, use dispatch, then navigate, use navigate, and const we have to write for the error also, right? So here we can define like loading error and use selector, and in this we have to pass the state and state of type root state and the state.auth, right? So use selector. So we have imported from the React Redux. Why it's showing error? Use selector. Yeah, now it's fixed. So we have written here wrong here, so please check the spelling. Use selector. And here we can define a interface for the error response, because we have not written error response, and in this error response we can type the message as a string. So user message, when the any error will come, it will be as a string, right? Then we can write handle submit. So when user will submit its detail when it will register. So handle submit, and in this handle submit we are going to create async because we are calling the API, and the event, right, we are clicking react form event and we are filling the form. Then here you can see that we can e dot prevent default, so our page does not refresh. So for that, then we can write set password error. So initially no error will be there. When the user will submit, if any error will come, we'll write the message, right? So if password not equal to confirm password, if password not equal to confirm password, because see, let me log out and see, when user is signing we have a two things. Let me clear this all these things. So password and confirm password, these two passwords should be matched, right? So that's why we have written password equal not equal to confirm password, then it will show a password does not match, right? So let's write and show you as of now. 1 2, so let's create. So 2 3 4 5 6 7, so it is asking for the some length of C, password does not match, so this error will show, right? So now we can build our try catch block, right? So we can write try catch block, and in this what we can write, so first we will create a const result, then await, and will dispatch our register with the name, email and password, and this dispatch function will go to the store and it will call the API, right? And after this, with the name, email, password, if if it is fulfilled, so we have used, right, fulfilled, pending and like rejected in our store, right? So if it is fulfilled, right, if it is fulfilled, it will navigate to the, not to the login page, to the dashboard, and dashboard will be at the slash, so slash path. And after that, if any error will be there, how we will see the const access error, right? And we have defined the type as a error response that we have created above. And if any error will come, we will set password error equal to access error dot data dot message, and must use optional chaining if to fix the error, otherwise it will show error if anything come undefined. So optional chaining is the great thing. So when you are calling on fetching on data, and here we have written our try and catch block with the email and password, it will go to the store, it will call the API stored in the database, and if it result is fulfilled, it will redirect it to the slash path where our dashboard will be present, right? And after that, let's write all the functionality. So here we have a create account, right? And then we have a form, but in the form tag, when the form will submit on submit, so handle submit, so when user will submit this form, it will call this function, right, handle submit, and it will register. Then if any error will be there, so for the error I have written, you can see that when we are login, right, so here password does not, the red error, right, in the red text, so here a password does not match. So for that, here we can write in a curly braces, if error, then show a red color text with the error message, right? And if any password error will be there, it will show the password error. So two errors we have. So here is the one error, the password error, and one error, we can see that the normal error, that the where it is. So this error, this error and this password error. So we have a two errors, right? So both the error we have to show. Suppose this is password error, right? Any password error registration failed, and other errors also it will catch. So here in this error, if any other error will come other than the password does not match, so it will restore this error here, and it will show in the here in the red color text, right? So if you want to write some JavaScript inside the JSX, you have to use curly braces, and we have to write the condition and operator. If this happen, then it will show, right? So this is the we have used two things. So two error response, one for the normal error and one for the password error. So after this, we have also given the type text value will be named, set target and all. So this all look correct. Email, right? Email, set password, then confirm password is okay, then submit. So here we have a submit in the create account. So here we have to write the custom. So when we are clicking on this, so this create account will change to the creating account. So when it will create the account, right? So how we will do that? So I will just write here a curly braces, and in this curly braces loading. So here you can write creating account, creating account, and here create account. So when it is loading means it is registering to our database, it's taking some time, right? That's why we are using a await. So for that we have used creating account. So when it is creating, if it is not creating, it will show the create account text, you can see that. And when it will create, it will show the creating account, right? So after that we have another thing. If you have already account, so it will show a this icon, right? So for that we can write like a link tag. So here in the link tag, initially we have commented here, so we'll uncomment this. So here in link tag it will go to the login page, right? When user will click here, it will go to the login page if you have a already account, right? So this how we have written here. And why it's showing the error here? It was showing error because here we are importing our root state using type, right? And that's why it is showing error. So you can use the root in front of that we have to use type. We have imported as a type, and here you can see that app dispatch error here. If any error it will show, you can write the app dispatch. So already we have defined here error like app dispatch. So here it was showing error because here we have to import as a type, not only root state as a type, because here importing as exporting as a type, right? So that's why it was showing error. So export as a type root state, so we'll get some type error, so that is easy to fix, no worry. So let's go on the login page and let's add the functionality to the login page also. So similarly that we have imported everything, right? So we have to import everything that we need, like use dispatch, use selector, login, root state, app dispatch from the store, and all these things that we need from our store that we have imported. Then we have an interface, right? We have to create interface for the error response, for the access error, right? So here we can write the error response. So message string, and after that in the login what we have used, like here we are using email and password state for the tracking our password and email. Now we have to use for the error message also, set error message, and for the dispatch and type app dispatch. Use dispatch is the type of app dispatch. So if you got error, if you find error on the use app dispatch type error, so you can use the app dispatch, right? And use navigate, and then if any error, so this loading, right? So loading equal to, so error, and here we are using user, not error. So when we are login, right, here we are fetching getting the user data, right? If user exists, see in the register page loading any error only because it is registering to the database, not fetching from the database, right? So if user is login using their email id and password that exists in the database, we need user data, right? So we are getting from the use selector from the store, and this store will call the API, right? So that we define before. And let write another thing. So we'll fix the this type this error later. So let's write another thing, use effect, and here we will write if any user is there. If you got the user right from the database, it will navigate to the dashboard slash, right? And it, and what, at what thing, so if user is there, when it will call the use effect when the user will there, and it will navigate. So at this we have passed the dependency array on the use effect. So if user already is this, it will be logged in, right? Then here we will write how it will log in. So we have to submit, right, our name, email id, password, whatever it is. So here we have to write a function to handle submit, and e.prevent default to fix the, and then set error message. So we can write as none because we have not login yet. So when it will log in, so you can see that we have written the result that above previously we have written. So dispatch login with the, this login is coming from where, this login coming from the so let me fix this, why it is showing store slice auth slice by writing type. So it will be fixed. See, we have to just define the type here because we exported as a type here, right? So that's why it is showing error. So let me go to the our try catch block. Yeah, so here if it is fulfilled, like we use in the async thing that we build in our store, right? So if it is fulfilled, right, then it will navigate to the slash, and if it is any error, so it will catch the error and show the error, right? Login failed, right? So let's go and let's login failed. So here on the form we have to use, right, handle submit, right? So when user will submit the form on submit, handle submit, so this function will call, right? And for the error message similarly we have used it previously. For the error message we have to write the javascript in the JSX, right? So here you can write in the curly brace error message. If error message is there, it will show the error message in this div. In div will be the text red color, right? So let's check out. So go here, if I try to write some random password, see it will show invalid credentials. So it is showing the error. So that's error we have to show, so that user should know what they are facing. So we have to fix that. So similarly, if it is here login, so it we have to show the it is sign in or not signing. So when user will submit, so when it will go to the database, it will take time, right? So I think about that we have used in the handle submit above. So if it is signing, it will show signing, otherwise it will show sign in button, right? And here we have a uncomment, we have to uncomment here. So let me uncomment this. So here what we have, if you don't have an account, so here if you don't have the account, it will, when you click, it will go to the register page, right? So register page, you can go to the register page. So create a new account if you don't have an account, right? So we have written our login and register page successfully, right? Now we will write other pages, right? And the other pages, like we can use write the profile, right? So let's write the profile page, and before that we can write other components also. We have not built any components yet, so let's create a navbar. So navbar.tsx. So in the navbar.tsx, what we have to write? So first of all, we have to import our react router.dom. So import link from react router.dom, then use navigate to navigate to the other page, and import, we can import use dispatch from the react redux, then use selector from the react redux, then we can import the icon, right, on the navbar when we will log in. Let's go and see. So let me sign in first. So when we log in, it has a navbar, right? The master and the icon, right? This to change the light to dark mode, then the profile icon and all this icon that we have to use. So to use that icon, we have to use the Lucid React, and Lucid React we have installed already, right? In the previously when we are building our front end, right? Then we have to toggle theme on our, so we have to use, right, use theme from the, we have to import from the slice, right, not from this path. So import toggle theme, not use theme, toggle theme. So in our theme slice we have a toggle theme where it is C toggle theme, right? So here we have to import toggle theme from the slice, theme slice, you can see that. And after this, importing, import logout. So we have a logout button also, right? Here we have a logout button here, you can see that. So for that also we have to import our logout from the store, right? So that it will call the API and it will import our logout, and user will log out and import root state, then import app dispatch, app dispatch, right? So we have imported our app dispatch also, so to handle our API request and the state management. So not created our functional component, right? So let's create our functional component. So we can just cut it out, RAFC, we can import and we can paste it here. Our functional component has been created, right? Here you can see that. And after that we can import our dispatch in each dispatch, you can see that it is showing error. So must import correctly each dispatch, right? And so we have to click here and press backspace with the control plus backspace, so it will show the import path, and when you press enter it will import it automatically. So this is the error. So here you can write the const navigate and const is dark, so is dark from the use select. So here in the theme slice is dark, we have used the is dark where it is, see is dark, right? So we have used is dark local storage from the get item, right? So we have to get the state from our theme slice, and then we have to import user also. So here you can see that the user right there, all this user data, right? User profile, everything. So we have to use that const user from the use selector state.auth, and this will come for the auth because their user is logged in, right? So then write the function. So here we are, when we are clicking and we are able to log out, right? And we can log in also. So how to handle logout? So const handle logout. So here we can write the handle logout function, and it we no need to use async command, just it will clear our that data that we stored in our local storage, right? It will just clear it. So let's show you, let me show you in the application. See here we have a user data and the this token is so jwt. So when we log out, jwt token gone, right? User data dot gone, right? So see, so we no need to use async event, right? We are just clearing it and it will user will automatically logged out, right? So no need to use async event. So here you dispatch logout, logout function that we have created, then navigate to login, right? And we can use the promise also. So it should not, like it should not show any error. So to handle error and wrap, and here we can write unwrap, then dot, then navigate to login. So we have handled the error health here. Unwrap the promises to handle the result and redirected to the login page after the successful logout, right? So when it will be logout, it will be directed to the login page. So we have to log in again. We will log out, right? So it will redirect to the login page. Then here we can write if any error will show, if any error will fetch in the logout, so it will show logout fail, right? This error, right? Let's write our JSX now. So in the navbar we have a, you can see that we have a like title and the theme changing icon, the profile icon and the logout icon. So let's build all these things. So here we will write the nav tag, not the div tag. So nav tag, and in this nav tag we'll write the div, and in this we'll write another div, and in this we can write the link, and it will go to the slash my app. So here you can write the task master, so whatever the name you want you can write master, right? And here we can use style, so class name, and Let's me show you how we can write JavaScript inside the tailwind CSS. So use curly braces, then use temporal literal this icon, and then here we can write again the curly braces, and here we have to write is dark. If it is dark, then what style we have to show. So if it is dark, right, right here, so what we will show. So we have to write like bg gray 800 and text white. So if it is dark, bg gray, enter text white, you can see that. And here we can write bg white and text gray 800, and we can use the shadow for the both theme, dark and light shadow md, right. So now it is okay. Then we can write like class name, then we can container and mx auto, and auto from the, so it will be responsive in the center px4, right, padding from the x it will be 4. Then here also we can write the class name flex item center justify between and height 16, right, for the height of the navbar, right. And here why it is showing the error root state app dispatch, so it is coming from the store. Let me fix this first. From dot store, right, and it is here it is showing, so we can use one thing, not the other thing. In one import we can import app dispatch, and here we can define the type, because you can see that when I over, it is showing it is a type, right, and imported using type only import, right. So use the type, right. So now it is fixed, right. It is so easy, right. TypeScript is so easy, you can just build some project and it will be good. So let's build another thing. After this we have a buttons, right, to toggle theme, right. So let me create a div, and in this div we have a button, and in this we can write is dark. If it is dark, it will show the sun icon. So let me write the sun icon that we have imported from the Lucid React, right, sun icon, right, and otherwise it will show moon icon. And here we can write the size of that, so 20 the size of icon. Here also we can define the size 20, right. And when anybody will click on button, it will change the theme, right. So on click, so use on click event, right, and dispatch toggle theme, right. And then we can write the class name here, padding to rounded full md. We can write the style for our button, so it depend on you how you want to style this. So here we are calling the dispatch, so it will call the toggle theme, right, and it will change the theme, and it will change according to that. So dark and all these things that we have defined here, and it will change the icon also. If it is dark, it will show the sun icon. So here you can see that the sun icon, it is dark. So when it is light, it will show the moon icon, because we have to change to the moon icon, so it is showing that, right? So now after this we have a user, right? Where is your user icon and the this logout icon? So let's build that also. So after that, let's, if it, if we got the user, right, we have to show the user profile, right? So here we can write react fragment, can use the link tag to profile, right? And it will go to the profile icon when you click on the link, right? And class name we can define as your needs. So according to your needs you can define the class here, right? So don't worry about the tailwind classes. And here user icon we have to show, right? User icon. So let me fix this, and we don't want to show the username, just icon. If you want to show the username who is logged in, you can show it, it will be good, right? So you can use this, it will be good when you use username, it will be more interactive, right? And now let's write for the handle logout. So we have a logout also icon, right? So for that, similarly, we can create a button and implement the handle logout. This handle logout function will, what it will do, it will call this dispatch from the our store, and it will be logout, right? And this is it for our navbar. So format document, so it will be in a proper style. So you can see that it is working totally fine, right? Now we will see the output of all these things later. Let's build all this component and understand how we are building, right? Then we have to build another thing, like layout. So why I am using the layout, I'll tell you now. So layout is like, we are creating a layout of our website, so how our website will look. So in this layout, what we are going to do, when user is logged in, right, it will show the navbar. When user is going to the profile icon, it is showing the navbar. When user is creating the task, it is showing the navbar. Navbar is common, right? It is common to all pages, on profile pages, on the dashboard pages. So this should be common, right? And other, the all this act as a children. So this dashboard act as a children, this profile, this component acts as a children, right? So this pages act as a children, and this should be common. This neighbor should be common, right? We don't want to disappear the neighbor, this should be common on every pages. So that's why we are creating a layout how our website should look, right? Suppose if you are creating a footer, so we don't want to disappear footer, it should be contained in our website if you go to other pages also, right? So we can define a proper layout also for using this. So we can see, so rafc create a functional component, right? And then we are using one more important thing, outlet. Outlet acts as a child outlet from the react router down. So here we are using importing our outlet, because with this outlet we have to show our children, right? So in the children we have a dashboard and the profile, right? So we have to use outlet. So import use selector, use selector from the react redux, and import navbar. so it will be common to our all pages, right? Oh my god, let me fix this. Yeah, so here you can import the root state from the store and it will show error type, so you can use the type, right? And here in the layout we can write is dark, const is dark, and this use selector. So make sure to import correctly your use selector. So we are start collecting the theme, right? So the theme should be go to the all the children's also, right? So we can define the theme so that it will go to the whole children. And here we can define the class name, and in this we can use the we have to use the like JavaScript inside the terminal. So we can use the template literal minimum height screen, so it will be responsive for our other devices also. And if it is dark, we will show bg gray 900 and text white, and bg gray 100 on the light mode, right? And the bg gray 50 on the light mode, and the text will be gray 900, right? And it will be just opposite to that. And here we can use, now we can define the navbar. So navbar, so this navbar will be common, and after that all the children, so other components pages will act as a children. So this profile page and the dashboard page act as a children. So container makes auto padding x padding y, we have written to make this responsive. Outlet x as a to render our children's, right, through a react router DOM. So it is very important. So let's go to the creation of private routes. So I will tell you what is private routes. Private route.tsx. So here we have a private route. So in this private route, what we are going to do, suppose like I am not logged in, right? I am not logged in. So it will show the login page. Suppose I want to go to the dashboard slash page. It may redirect you to the login page. Why it is not directing me to the slash? So because it is protected, we can't access that. Suppose I want to access profile, so I'm not able to access the profile. It is redirecting me to the login because we are not authenticated. We are not authenticated user. When we log in, then we can access the dashboard, the slash page, and the profile page. If we are logged out, we aren't able to access that pages, right? So we have to create a private route so that other user can't access without login, right? So this is the important thing in the react import. So I'll create a arrow function rfc, and here we can define import navigate to navigate to the other page, right? So I'll just copy and paste this all this import thing that we know already. And if root state give you the issue, we can divide the type here, right? And we can create an interface for the child. So interface, and here we can write private private route props, and in this we can write like children, so all the children for the children, so children. So make sure to correct spell, and children is of type a React node, React node, right? So this is some TypeScript that you should know, right? So we will build and we will know. So here we can write the React functional component. The type is .fc and private route props, and here we have to pass the children, right? Children, and in this children, so how we will authentic that user is logged in, right? Then we will show the profile and dashboard. So we will create a user and we will get the user data, use selector, and this use selector we will get the state, and in this we will pass the root state, and here we can write the state.auth. So to get the user data, if we got the user data, that where is our user data? When we logged in, we have a user data, right? In the application you can see that the user data, then we are showing the profile page. If we got the user data, and here you can destructure it, user data from the each selector, right? And state root state and state.out from the our store, right? And if we got the user data, what we can do, what we have to return user. If it is, if user is there, right, we can show the children components. What are the children components we have? So we have a children components like dashboard, profile. So if user is there, then only we will show this all these pages, and this pages sorry, this pages act as a children, right? Here that we define in the layout, right, using React Router DOM. And if user is not there, so we will redirect to the login page. Navigate to login/login and replace, and here we can close it. So when the user is logged out and I try to go to the profile page, let me, sorry, profile page, profile, so it may redirected to the login page because no user data in the local storage, right? So that's why it is navigating to the login page. So this how you can protect your routes. So this is very important question in the React, how we create our protected routes. Fill the task card, task. So before building task card, we can use a task model. So we have a task model, right? So let me rename this task model.tsx. So this is task model. So here when we logged in, so we have to create the task. This model is showing, right, the create task. Here the cut icon, so when you click on it will be removed. So here the title, description, priority, due date, and the pending, all this state we can write in the this add. So when you click on this, it will show the model, right? So we can create the model, right? So let me write the So here you can see that the task model component that we have created, and import all the necessary thing that we need in our task model. So let's import use dispatch from the React Redux and use selector from the React Redux. Then we can import the icon. Import, we can add X from the Lucid React for the cross icon so that we can cut and close the model, right? Then we can import the create task. Create, sorry, we have to write in a curly braces because we have used named export. So in the name export we have to use curly braces. Create task from the store slice, then update task in the same file, right? So we will import that also. Then we can write import root state from the store and app dispatch from the store. And if you got type error, just write type and it will be fixed. So we have to define the interface type of our model. So in that interface, so we will write is open. So is our model open or not? So for that we are using the type boolean on close. So we have to use a function to close our like model, right? When you click on the, so let's define the type for our task, and here we are using optional. So why we are using optional? Because here we are creating the task, that time it will be empty, right? And when we are updating the task, that time it is not empty because it's fetching the data that we want to update, right? All the data, right? That is one click of the icon, the pencil icon, right? So this all these things we have to take care of. So we have to use this the optional, so it may or may not be filled. So we will write the id when we need id, and we updating the task. Then title, we have imported, right? Create and update task, right, from the slice. So we'll write all this function. So title string, then description string, then we can write like priority, so I'll just copy and paste my types for the task. It has id, title, description, priority, low, medium, high, due date is history, and the status is pending. So this is for the updated task, right? And we don't need it, it will be null, so it may be null, right? So let's go and create our each states, so to track each field. So first of all, we'll import app dispatch, right, to dispatch some action. So must import correctly. And where is your app so remove this. So app dispatch, then what other things is dark, const is dark. So we have to use dark in this also, right, for the model component. So it should be applied on this model component also, dark and light mode, right? So let's go and see. So here you can see that on the dark mode. Now see on the light mode, see it apply for both, right? So we are using the dark from our theme slice. Then we will create a state for the task fields. So const title, right, set title, set description, priority, right? And here we can define uh, the priority low, medium, and by default we can write low, right? You can write the due date, and we can write the status, right? Pending or completed, right? So here we are defining the type of a user state. It may be state will be low, medium, the state we have passed here, and for the status also, and the default status, right? So we have two things, variable and the function, right? Now we will write the use effect. So to update the task, right? So reset the field task when the model is open for the creating new task, right? And populate the field task from the editing, right? So we will write all these things, use effect. Then here we have a dependency array also. So let me pass the dependency array, and dependency array will be task and is open. Task, why it is task is open. So O is capital, is open. We will define all these things. So in the use effect, if task, if task, if we have a task, so populate the form fields with the task data for editing, right? So here when we click in editing, we have to get that all this data, right? So in model to get the data, so we can use set title equal to title, set description, task dot description, then set priority, and then the form date. So how we have to form the date? So we will not get the date that we want in our format, so we have to format the date, formatted date. So here we have to write task dot due date, and no need to convert all these things. So task dot due date and dot split and with the t, and we will get the first array, right? It will have a time also, right? So we have to split that into two parts, and we have to get that the first the array. So here it is split, then after that we have to set due date, format date, and the set status. So task dot status, the task is it is showing that the task cannot find the name task, right? So we will fix it soon. So let's write for else condition, and in the else condition, otherwise it will be empty, right? We don't want on the editing when we are creating task, right? New task, that time the fields will be empty. Set description, set priority low, and the set due date, due date empty, and set status pending, right? Whatever you want to give the default, it will take. And let's for the submission, let's write function for the submission. So out of this use effect, so let me format this. So out of this use effect we can write like const handle, what we have to handle, submission, right? And user will submit some form, right? So what we have to do when user will submit the form? So the first thing is prevent default, Then we have to get the selected due date, right? Const selected due date, and we have to select the new date from the due date, and here const today, so equal to new date. We'll find the today date, and today dot set hours to 0, and here we'll write the condition if task, if not task, if not task, task, and selected due date, means if the selected date is less than today, means if you are selecting the past date, so it will show a error, right? You can't select the past date, right? And after that we can write like const task data, and in this task data, what are the data we have? A title, description, priority, and due date. So we have already converted, so no date for this, so due date. So you can write the task data, title, description, priority, due date, and status, right? And after that, if task, if task is there, what we will do, we have to update the task. We have a task data, means we have a update the task, our dispatch update task with the task underscore id, and the data we have a task data, right? And then no need to unwrap this, and after that here using await, right? And here we have not used async, so must write async here, right? So now it's okay, and we will just fix this task later. So let's write the remaining things, and here await, if it is update the task, it will update the task. If new data is, it will create the task with the new data, that the task data that user has input, right? And this all is coming from the state variable that we created above using use state, right? And here after the else we have to write like on close, close. So we have defined on close void, right? And after that we have to write like each if model open is not open, return null, right? And you can see that here is the task, because it is not finding the task. We have created here task interface, right? But we have not used in our React functional component. So to use this we have to write React let me clear this, React dot functional component and task model props, right? Now see the task error, and here we have to pass that, so it is still showing the task error because we have to pass is open and on close and the task, right? So now the task, see the task has been, we have to pass as a props, and here the task error has been disappeared because we have not used the props and we have not passed this as a props here, right? And not define the types also. So why it is showing split. Here we have used new date, so no need to use new date because we have to take the task due date, so new date no need here. So task dot due date dot split, and at the this part for the updaters updation of tasks, right? the task will be in the format. When we are creating the task, we have already formatted the task in the date. You can see that. See, so now this error has been fixed. So here it's showing the data equal to task data. So why it is showing error? So obviously here using data, we have to use task. So this task variable, so this task will update it to the task data that user has create typed. That data will be added to this id, right? So we have to write the task, and here is the task data. So we have written the wrong here, so we have fixed that. Now you can see that our task model is clear, no errors are there. Let's write JSX for our task model. So here we will write the div, and in this div we can write another div, and in this div we can write another div, and in this we'll write h2 tag, and there we'll write edit or create task. So when we create a new task, it will show a create task heading, right? So first let's style our first div, right? So fixed, then insert 0 bg opacity 50, then flex, then justify center, then we can write item center, then here we can write, like, we can use the template later because we want to use some JavaScript inside of that. So class name, let me write, okay, so padding 6, rounded LG. So these are the some style that I want to use, so you can write it. So there is no much advance in this styling. So just I want to use this is dart class, right? Just we used in before components, right? So in this also I want to use this. So we use curly braces, then temporary liter. In this will write the JavaScript. Here is dark. If it is dark, it will show background. This text white, and so we want to change, right, the theme when you apply, right? So we have and this is dot coming from the theme slice, right? So that's for the styling. And let's style for our another div, and in this we can make it responsive using flex, justify center, item center, and there in the h2 tag also will write the size of the text that we are going to use, text excel and font semi bold. Then here we can write the custom task if it task, and if task is there means if we have data, right, that id and all. So which data has id that we want to edit, right? So for that, if we are editing, it will show edit task, it will show the, otherwise it will show the create task, because we have to edit and create others two things only, right? So now we have to create a button, and in this button we have to show a cross size, cross x icon, right? And this x icon is coming from lucidity that we have imported, and we have to write the size also. So let me write size, and we can write plus 20, right? And when we click on, we want to close, right? We want to close our model, right? On click close, on close, right? And on close function is coming from here. So with that we have created here in our interface, right? So let's now go for creating another thing. So after this button div, what we want a form, right? We want a form in which title, description, priority and all these fields should be there, right? So to build that form we need a form tag. So in form tag, right, we have to write the handle submit, right? So on submit, handle submit, and then we can write the class name, right? So in the class name margin top 4, right? And after that we can define everything in the form, right? So here we can write a div, and in this div we can write a label, and in this label we can write the title. So the title text that we show new, see the title text, right? The title text, the title text you can see on the top, right? That is the label, right? So we have to write this. And here for the div in our form tag we can write the class name also for this. So class name margin top 4, right? And after that in the HTML4 for what we are using, like title, and then we can style this also, class name block, we can define the text xm, then we can define font medium, then after that we can write the input type text, then we can define other things like id, id will be title, then we can write like value title, right? That value to we have passed the use state variable, and on change what we want on the on change we want to set the value that the user has typed using set title function that we use in the use state, and that is required. This field we need, right? Without filling this field we can't create our task, right? So write required, then you can write with full padding 2 and margin top 1, then rounded, right? So like this we can written our div for the title. Similarly we have to write for the other things also. So I'll just copy and paste that part. So here what we have to, we had similarly created a div and margin from bottom is 4, right? Before we have margin top bottom top, right? So here also we have to write the bottom only, margin bottom 4, so it will take the space from the bottom. And similarly we have used label, right, for the description. Then here we are using text area because description should be on not in one line, it's a some like more spacing width, right, and height. So here for that we have used the id description. Similarly here we are using value description, then here that state that we have defined. So similarly just changing the this use state variables, and here some styling. So styling is also similar, right? So we can create another thing like div for the value. So here we need option, right? When priority low medium, so we need an option, right? So here we can similarly create a div here for the margin bottom field and the priority level will be same, but here we have to select tag. Here for the text area we have, now we have to select some option, that's why we have selected, right? And id priority the same that we use, then the value priority, then the on change set priority, right? And as a low medium high only three option it can take, right? And here we have defined is dark, so this is the dark class we have defined for the this select value, right? And here we have defined option, so this option we can select low, medium, high. So this is very simple. And another div for the due date. So it is very easy to create all these things. So similarly you can write margin bottom for the div thing. Then we have a due date label, right? Then we have a id, then type, then we have a value, right? And then we have a on change. So it will change set due date. This is the user state variable, right? That we defined before to track and maintain the change of our state, right? So similarly we have to create all these things one by one, right? And we have to create the status, and the status has also option, right? So we have to select an options like this pending and completed, right? And here we have to target as a pending and completed. Then we have a one more thing. So after this pending we have a create task button, right? So to create a button, let's write a div, right? And in this div write a button, right? And let's style that first div. So this first div will be flex and justifying. So why I'm using justifying? So here it will be in the right side, right? So that's why we are justifying, right? So in the button we can write like if task, if task is there, then update task or create task. So when we are creating, it is showing create task, and when you updating, here is showing update task. So this changes, you can see that due to this, right? Due to this, not because of other things. So and here we can write the type submit and the class name for our button also. So here, so type submit, let me format the document first. So here you can see the button class name, and the type should be submit, and button should be background, some text, white, padding. These are the simple style, right? So you can do it in your own way. So here after creating task model, we remaining with the one last component. For the component part we have a only last component, that what? So when we write some other task, write some, let me type some random things and let me create. So when I create task, so you can see that I click to two times, so it created, right? So when I created two tasks, so here we can delete the task, but here you can see that the the task has been using a component, and in this component it tasks in the similar way, just the data has changed, right? And I click create something, right? And select the date, right? And when I click on it, so it create the task. So so when we are creating the task, right, some task, right? So it will change this to create task. So it is creating the task, right? We have created many tasks here, you can see that. So this all these tasks are the, you can see that in the similar look, because we have used the similar component, right? So we have to create one component, just change the this data, and you can see that complete the task by clicking on the sign icon. All these thing will see in that component, right? All this task data. So for that we'll create a component for the task card, task card dot tsx. So let's write the task card. So here you can see that the task card, and in this we have created our functional component. Let me import all the necessary things. So here I will import all the necessary things like you dispatch you selector from the React Redux, right? To deploy some action and manage the state. And here we have some icon, like pencil icon, trash icon, circle icon, clock icon, all these icon that we are using. You can circle, trash icon, pencil icon, and this sign icon, then this time icon, right? You can see that the date we have created. So all these icon we have imported, then update task and delete task from the. So let me fix this path. So this is coming from the store, and slices and task slices from the update and delete task, right? And after that we have a root state from the store, but it will show a type error, so write the type. So it is very easy to create all these things. And here we can write interface, and in this interface task props. So here we will rather, so here we are getting some data, right? So this task have some id in the name, the description, priority and date, all these things. So we will create all these things. So task, and let me copy and paste it to save the time. So it is very easy that we, right? So here we have created a task, and we have defined the types like id string, the id that present in our MongoDB database. So each task has a separate ID, right? The task that we are showing, right? And here you can filter it out, right? That filtering and all this thing we'll see in the dashboard page. So when we'll build the dashboard and profile, so we left with the dashboard and profile, we'll build that also, and our project will be completed. But we'll see the deployment also, whole source code, how to do, and everything from the build and deployment. So if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe us. So here we have defined the title, description, priority, status, due date, right? So we have defined all these things. So all these things, why we have defined? Because we need all this data here, right? And here on edit, so we are editing, right, on this component. Where is our component? So here in our component we have on edit, so on delete, so all these things that we need here, right? So for that we have written all these things. So here on edit, and it is returning void, right? In the task card we have to define the types, otherwise it will show error like we have faced in the previous component, right? So don't miss here to define the props. So what is the props? Task props, right? Then here we have to pass some props here also, the task comma on edit, right? Now we will use these props here. So first of all we'll dispatch, then const dark, so we need dark theme functionality in this component also. So handle const handle toggle status. So here you can see that the toggle status, here it is completed. So it has, see, completed, uncompleted, completed. So how we will handle all these tasks? So we will create this handle toggle, right? Handle toggle status, and here we will do a dispatch. And in this dispatch what we will do, we have to update the task, sorry, yeah. So what we are doing here, we have to update the task, right? So in the updation of task, right, we have created that in the before, right, in our store, and update the task, right? So let me write the dispatch, and in this dispatch update the task. And here we can write like what we want to update. So we can't update the id, right? Id should be unique, right? And then the task, so task we have to pass. So what are the task data we are passing? Like the status we can update, right, to completed, pending, right? So for that we will write the task, and in this task if a status task dot status equal to completed, so it will show, see, pending or completed, so it will toggle, right? If it is equal to then it's a pending button, otherwise it's a completed, right? So we can toggle between this, right? So when we are clicking on this, it is toggling. So here it will show the task is pending, right? Now we can show completed, and now it will go to, it will show the completed. So it's toggling the data, it is updating the data, right? So for that we have to use like this, right? Then we can write for the handle delete. So how we can delete? So handle delete will write a function, will first will confirm using into dot confirm. So this is the simple javascript. When we will go and delete, it will ask, are you sure you want to delete this, and press OK and it will be deleted, right? So dispatch delete task with the this id, right? So here we have just written here delete task. This delete task is coming from the store that we have written the created the thing for this. Then we have written the task id. So this task id want to the specific task, we don't want to delete all the tasks, right? We want to delete that only component, right? Each component here has a unique id, right? And after that we have some get priority colors, right? So here you can see that the priority is low means it is blue, right? Let me change priority to medium. So if it is medium, it's showing yellow, right? And let me change to the priority to high, and it is showing the red icon, right? So to build this functionality, we have to use the switch statement, you know, right? And here we have to write a function, we have to pass a priority as a string, right? It will take the priority as a parameter and it will switch based on your priority. If the priority is high, here if you got the high and here also match the high, so it will make it the red. If your priority is medium, here also medium, and if it is matches this case, it will show yellow. It is low, it will show this. And if it default, we have written the text gray, right? And for the overdue, right? See, for the overdue, we have written a function overdue new date dot the task date. How it will show? So here it will showing only overdue, that is due today 0, right? Let me change this. What is the date today? So in June we have the date today 26 and update the task. So when you date due today 1, how it is showing the today date, how it is finding the due today? So if the task dot due date, that the new date, it will in the new date object the task due date means the today date. Suppose we will select it, it's less than the new date means the today date. If it is less than the new date and the task not equal to completed, so when it will show the due date? So here it will show due date only if the today date, right? If the today date does the date is less than the today date, and you can see that we have not completed task, right? We have not completed task. Suppose I change the here is a see the 26. Suppose I written 28, right? So this updated task, you can see 18th July. The task is due, but not for the today. You can see it is a due, right? It is due task, but it is not for the due today. So for the today, we need today date. So here you can see that the due today date. And when it will show if it is not completed. If it is completed, it will show 0, means it has completed, and completed task will update. You can see in the real time, you can see how it is updating, right? So you can see how it is updating the count. It is counting the in the real time, right, from our database, right? So we have written here condition, if the task due date new date means today date, and here we have task not completed, then it will show the overdue, right? So that's it for our the functional. So now we will write the JSX part. So in the JSX part, here we will remove the task. So here we can write the class name for our div. So how we can define the class name for our div? When we have to write, suppose we have to write some JavaScript inside, so we'll write the curly bracket template literal, and here now we can write using the dollar sign and the curly braces. And here we can define if it is dark, we do this. If it is not dark, do this. So all this function we can write here, and other function also we can write that we need in our application, right? So here we can, I'll just copy and paste the styling. So see, the same thing is dark, then do the background this and text white. If it is white, so and do this, right? and and normally, and if you want to the common to the both the themes, we can write outside of this curly braces, right? And here, and the task equal to completed, right? Opacity, right? 75, right? So it will decrease the opacity. So when I mark as a completed, see the opacity of this card is decreased. When I not completed, it is opacity increase. So this, all these things we have done here. So similarly, we can write another logic, right? So div, and in this div we can write like another div, and we can write another button, and this button what it will do, it will toggle the status to completed and not. So is a button, right? See the button to toggle update, right? So first we will style the first this div, and in this div we'll write the flex item center, flex item center, and then we can write the, otherwise we can write item start, because I want this bottom should be a start, right? Not in the center, in the starting, right? So we can write justify between, so it will take the space around it, and after that we can write another div class name, and in this class name we can write the flex, and here we can write items starts. So here we can define the items start, and here we can define the space from the x-axis, like we can write 3, right? From the x-axis, and here in the button we want a check circle, right? So that check circle, and the we can define the check circle that we imported from the Lucidate, and the size, and the cursor pointer. So when you hover, the cursor will be pointer, but we have not added the functionality. So to add the functionality, what we have to do on the button, so on click we have to, on click, on click we have to do handle toggle status. So it will handle, it will call this function handle toggle status. If it is there, it will update the task status to pending is, sorry, completed, otherwise it will show the pending. So it will toggle between those things, right? And here we can define the some variables that we need in the, you can write that some javascript inside our tailwind css. So what is this? So here we have, if task status equal to completed, then it will show the test green, right? Let me show you. So if it is completed, is the check mark is, see the green, and here it is not completed, the test mark is, you can see the gray, right? When I mark is complete, it also become green. When I mark is incomplete, it become gray, right? So we have a style all these things. If task status equal to completed, do this, and do not mismatch with this name, right? Completed, if you are using completed, you can write completed. If you writing complete, you have to write complete. So do not mismatch with this. Here we are matching the type and the data, both the value and the type. And after that, this button we can create another thing. What the other thing we have, like task dot title, right? So after this button we have a title, description, high priority, and the due date. Then we have a here in the icon and the delete icon. So we will see that also. So create a div, and in this div we can write s3 tag, s3 tag, and in this s3 tag we can write task dot title. So we want to show the task title, right? So you can write the task dot title. This coming from the database, and this how it's fetching from our store. Store is fetching from the database. That's why we are using Redux toolkit. Redux toolkit make our lives so easier. So let's write the class name for this, and here also we can define some like the JavaScript, right? So based on that we can style our class name. So here I'll just copy and paste and show you. So here the task register is all completed means line through, means it will go a line throughout this title. You can see that if it is not completed, you can see that it is showing clearly. If it is completed, then the task has been line through, right? And text gray 500, it become 500, right? Suppose I want red, you can write the red. If you want other color, you can update based on the status. If it is pending, you can mark it is a separate color, right? So you can write the custom classes, right, for this. So other than we have a paragraph tag. Similarly in this div we'll write a paragraph tag. So in this paragraph tag we have a, if it is dark it will show background this and all, right? And here the task description, this data is coming from the our database. Then after that we can go and create another div. So for what we are going to create another div. So for the get the priority, that the priority date. So this the other thing is in the bottom, these two are in the row I. So here two are in the row and this is two in the column, right? So here we want to create a separate div for our the priority and the date, right? So we will write the class name, and in this class name we can write the flex. Then we can write the item center, then margin top 2, then we can write space x, and in the space x we can make it 3 as units and or 4, whatever we need we can make it. So no worries, it depends on you how you want to show your UI of your card, right? So we can define like this: flex item center margin top from 2, and we have a space from the x-axis. Then we have a span, right? So in a span, in this we can show our task priority. So task priority, how to get the task priority? Let's write a curly bracket task dot priority, right? Then we have a write the char at, so at 0 the first character, and then we'll write this to uppercase. So we want to uppercase. So what we are doing, like here the first letter is in uppercase, right? The first character. So character at 0 we want uppercase. Then we can write plus task dot priority dot slice 1, right? So other the task priority slice 1. So here you can see that it will show the other text also, right? Only the task at priority uppercase will become 0 plus the task slice at the 1. So it will show the that slice part also. So here we have to style our span. So how we have to show? So in the class name we can write the custom data. So we want to write the JavaScript in this. So how to write? We have to use the curly braces, then temporal literal, and we can define in this like if here get priority color, right? This function get priority color, this function that we define. if task dot priority, right, this we have to pass the task dot priority. In this, if the priority is high, it will show this. But here why we will pass the priority as a parameter, then here also in this, then we are calling the function, we have to task dot priority, we have to pass the priority, like we have passed the description, we have to pass the priority. So it will take the priority. If priority is high, it will show this color, right? So according to this, it will show the color and it will apply the classes. So we are writing the JavaScript here in the class, telling classes. So you know how to write curly braces and temporary tail, and with the this dollar sign in the curly braces where we want to write our JavaScript, right? So here we can write the another div, and for what we can write the another div. So here we can write for the due date. So similarly, if it is over due date, so it will show in red. So let's change this. So it is showing not in red as of now. So suppose I selected the past date, so it will show the overdue date, but the chart you can see that, but the due date, the color has not been changed. So why it is? So let's see this. Selection if overdue, then it will show task red, right? So let me select the today date. Now also it is not showing the color, right? So here we have written the if it overdue, it will write the texted. If it is dark, it will show this text color, right? And here we can uh, mark as a clock, and the clock is this clock size, and the due date, task dot due date, we have to convert to the local string so that it will come in this format with this icon, right? So here we can write the remaining things. What are the remaining things we left with? So pencil icon and the trace icon to delete that, right? So we have to write for that also. So we'll write the function for that. So to write that, we'll write here. So let me copy and paste that. So I'll just copy and paste. So here I've created a div, and in this div we have some styling flex space too. So between these two icon, it will be some space in the x direction. Then on edit, so we have created a function on this pencil icon. So on this function, on this pencil icon, we have created this function on edit, so it will edit the task, right? And this is coming from our state, right? And here we have defined the class, and here we can write the handle delete, and here the trash icon, and here we have passed the handle delete function, so it will delete that. So this is for our the task card. Let me format this document, and now it is looking great. So we will run this and we will show our final output later, after of building two remaining pages. So we have to build dashboard and the register page. Sorry, register that we have built already, so we have to build dashboard and the profile page, right? So we will build with the dashboard page first. So let's build our dashboard page. So dashboard.tsx. So here we have created our dashboard.tsx, right? So here we can write RFC, React functional component. Then we can import all the things that we need. So what we need: use effect, use state, then use dispatch, use selector from the React Redux. Then we need the icon from the Lucid React. Then we need the fetch task. So this fetch task coming from. So let's me fix this. So this how we will fetch the task and so on the UI, right? So dot slash store slash slices slash task slices. So the fetch task that async thunk we have created in our store, right? So that store what is done, it will fetch the task and show the data, right? Whatever the task the user has created. And here write the type for the type safety. Here the task model coming from the component task model and the task card that we have created. Now we want to show model and the task on our dashboard only, right? In our this dashboard only we want to show model and the task card that we have seen on our dashboard. And in our dashboard we have other thing also, heading, add task button, then due date, and high priority, all this pending task, completed task, and filter, right? So we'll create all these things. So let's me define first of all a state const. We can write dispatch, then here we can write const is model open. So how we are going to track is model open, set model, set is model open. So here we have written is model open and set model open, and here we have to pass the right the false, we have passed the false. So suppose we have not opened the model, when a user will click only then the model will open, right? So we can write const then selected task, and here we have to not write in curly braces, we are writing a state, right? How we can forget all these things. So here we can write that selected task, right? And set selected task, and initially it may be null or any type, right? For the selected task, and then the task we have to filter that task, right? So for filter the task we can write filter status. So set filter status all pending completed, right? So we have three things we are passing here, all pending completed, so we are fetching, right? So initially it will show all the tasks, right, on our dashboard. So we have passed the default as a all, and after that we have to pass another thing, if selector, right? And task equal to tasks equal to empty array. First it will be an empty array, and we can write loading, and we can write like use selector which will select the task. So we can write the task, all the tasks that is fetching, right? So state dot task and use selector and the loading. After that we can, and here we are using use selector, and here we can write another thing for the dark is dark and use selector, and here also we are selecting our theme state from our the root state type, and here we are writing our use effect. So why we are using use effect? So to fetch the task. So when we fetch the task, when dispatch some action, right? So that time we need to fetch our task and show to the user, right? And here we can write dispatch fetch task, and we can write the dispatch as a dependency array. So const open create and create task model. So here we can write open create model and here we can write the arrow function and open create model. So how it will be opened? So when we open the model, set selected task null and set model open. We don't have to select the task. And when we have to edit the task, so when we have to edit the task, so here we have to write set model open true, right? Set is model open true for the when you are editing the task, and we have to select the task that time when you are editing, right? We need the task data, right? When you are editing that task, so we have to write all this function. So set is model open. So let me, here I have written model, so instead of model where it is set model, to write model open, not model. So I have fixed this. So some spelling mistakes, and we have to get the today date in the string format. So we have to get the today date to string, right? So we have to write this. And how we are going to filter the task? So filter filter task, filtered task. So how we are going to is filter the task? So we will use task dot filter. So task dot filter, and in this we are going to filter the task. So we'll first take the task, and then we have to pass the if filter task equal to run all, it will return true, otherwise it will filter the task with the filter status. So if the status equal to pending, right? And so this is from the database, and this is from our filter status. So filter status, suppose I have selected the pending, and from database it will go and check all the pending tasks from my id, right? The user id, and it will filter and match and the filter, right? And all these things present in our store. So redux toolkit is making our life very very easier, very. So it is very important thing, redux tool, so must learn it properly. Then we have it, how we are going to, here we are showing the due count out, how we are counting all the due date, right? So to count the due date, so let me copy and paste the function. So here task dot filter, right? So we are filtering the task. So to filter the task, if the task is not completed means it is pending, right? If it is in pending state, and the new date, if the task date is new date means and equal to today date. So today date that we have created the today date, if the today date match with the task that date we have mentioned in the task, so when we created the task we mentioned the date, right? And the today date, if both matches, then we have to count the, that if suppose it two times, so it will show the two, right? It will fetch the filter and count, so dot length, right? And it will show the count and it will show on the ui, right? And if the pending state, so we are showing like how much task is pending, right? High priority, pending, completed. How we are going to fetch? So similarly we have to filter the task status equal to pending, then we filter, if tasks are completed then filter, right? And this high priority we will see later how to. So here we have a high priority task, so I will just copy and paste it and show you how priority task. So how priority task, here we can see that the task dot filter, how we are going to see that it is high priority, the task dot status not complete means it is pending, means user has not completed. And here we are writing the task priority using a line. If it is high and if it is pending, then it will count and it will show the high priority count, right? So so we can count and show the how much task is has high priority. And here we can count and dot length will find that how much length it is and show on the UI, right? So here we can show a loading. So when we are fetching the task, it will have to show the loading icon, right? So let me show you when we are refreshing. So see, a, a fraction of second a loading icon. See here the loading icon, you can see that the blue color loading icon has been shown, right, when it is fetching the task, right, from our database, right? So that time it will show a loader. So we have defined a loader. Here we have created using tailwind css how it will look, right, if it is loading, right? So now we will style how our dashboard will look. So in this div we'll write another div, and in this div we'll write h1 tag. So in this will display my tasks. So here we'll first style our first div max width 6xl and mx auto to make it responsiveness, and class name for this flex, then justify between, and item center and margin bottom 6. So we can write the style for a h2 tag, right? So here we can define if it is dark, so it is showing white, if it is light it is showing the gray, right? So we have to write the custom style. So we have to use template literals. So here we can write if it is dark text white, if it is light it will show this, right? So after that we have a button to add and create model, right? In the model to create a task, right, we have a add button. So how what is button, when you click it open a model and you can create. So when you click it will go and open create model. So open create model, it will open the model, right? And here is the class name where we style our button with the plus icon, right? And add task, you can see that we can add our task, right? Now we will build another card that will called as a summary card. We'll build a summary card, right? So here only we will build a summary card, and that card what we will do, we'll create a common card, and in that common card we will pass all this data: due date, high priority, pending and completed, right? So we'll create a common component for that. So let's create a component here only in this const summary card, and in this summary card we can pass the profs icon, comma, title, comma, count, comma, description is dark. So dark, and it is of type any. So if you don't know the type you can use, but this is not recommended to use the type any, right? So here you have to create a div, and in this div we have another div, and in this we have to show the icon. Then after that let's style our div first. So class name, and here we have to write similarly, we can write using the template ritual, we can show the different colors for the light and dark theme. Then we can style our another div like flex, padding and all and everything margin bottom to make it responsive and look good, right? And after this we have to create a h2 tag, and in this h2 tag we have to set the title dot count, title and count. So count, so here we have written the title and count. So here you can say that the title and count is 0, and here the icon, right? That icon we have written here, right? So we can style it, right? So let me just copy and paste, and you can see that I style our h2 tag also with the, if it is dark then show this color, otherwise show this text color. So this is the summary card, that card we want to show here, and here in this card we want this title, all these things, right? So let's use this. So after this button div, we want to show the this cards, summary cards. After this add task and my task, we have this cards, small cards, where you can see your all the data, how many we have a pending, completed and due date, everything. So here we have to pass summary card, and in this summary card, so first let's style our div first, grid, and grid call 1 on the small devices. On the medium devices I want to show grid calls 2 items, and on the large devices I want to show 4 items, and gap margin bottom will be 6, so that it will be responsive, right? And in the summary card icon, and here we can define the icon. So this icon we can write here like calendar. I want to show calendar icon, so here you can reach the calendar icon, and we can style like size 20, then other thing like class name, and in this class name text yellow. So here however we have used this icon color, right? So similarly we have to write that text yellow, what is the opacity 500 of the yellow color, and after that we can write title, what is the title. So title is like due due date, sorry, due today. So we have to write the title due today, because here we have a title due today, right? So this is the title, and after that we have to write another thing like count. So how many count we have? So we have a count like, these are the props that we are passing, the count, these are the count is a props. So icon is a props, count is a props, right? And div count, this div count we have calculated above, right? This function, the total count, right? And after that what we are doing, we are doing like is dark, is dark. So all this data we are passing to our component as a props, right? And in this we have to pass is dark. So here we are when we are creating our card, we are using this, all these props, right? That pass icon, title, count, dark. So this props icon, title, count, dark, it all acts as props to this summary card component that we have created below, right? Similarly we have to create card for 3 others also, right? So let me copy and paste and show you how it will look. So here we can see that in the summary card for the other we have just changed the icon, alert icon, and the title high priority. I want to show high priority, how many count of the task that has high priority and each dark class. Similarly for the other pending we have used clock icon and the how clock icon will look. Title pending count means pending count, how many pending count that we have created above the pending count. All this count we have you created a function to count the all this data, right? So we have created all these things, right? Let me format the document so it is looking very great, right? After that, what we have a filter, right? Filter buttons, right? So let's write for the filter button. So I will just copy and paste for the filter button, and I will show you how it works. So let me copy and paste. So here in the filter button I have created a div, and in this div we have a flex and specs 2 and margin button from 6. Then here we have a here all pending and completed, these three button we want, right? And in the button equal to status, so we are acting as a status. So all the status that we have defined here, all pending, completed, this act as a status, as a key. When you are using map, use a key always, otherwise it will show a error, right? So set filter status. So this is the function that we created above. If a status is a all pending, it will filter, and if the filter status equal to status, then show this color. So if the filter status equal to status means pending matches with the pending, so from the database and the filter status all this matches means it will show a different color background, this and the text white, right? If it is matches the filter status equal to status. So this filter status that we have created is state before, right? So we have to connect and each and everything so that it will show on the UI, right? And here the status you can see that it's a status dot character, first character to uppercase and the slash. So you can see here the first character is like uppercase, other is in the lowercase, right? So this is the simple JavaScript, right? And after that we want to show the task, this task, all these tasks. So we have created already, we have created the task, just we have to pass this data, all this data, right? So let's see for the task. So let me copy and paste our task. So here below it we'll see. So I have created a div. In this div we have a space from y means top. It will have some, here you can see that on the top of each task it has some space in the y direction, and it will filter the task. So filter task dot map. So this filter task is coming from this, that where filter all equal to status return true. So how it is filtering, right? So here we are using filter task dot map. If here we have showing the button, right? Here we are seeing the button, so it will change the just the here the background color, right? It is filtering, right? You can see that it is filtering the completed task, pending and all. So how it will work? So it has filter only, it will show the that card only. Here I have completed this, right? I have completed this task, so it is showing this card only. If I have completed this card also, it will go and show me the that card also. You can see that that card is showing here, right? So only that task it will filter. It will filter that task if that with the task id, each task id, if I pass it as the task as a data on open model. So it will open the model with the task id. After filtering we have opened the filter task.map with the task card, and we have to edit that. So open edit model, so that will go on the pencil icon, right? And it will edit that. So here we have a pencil icon, right? So this on edit as a passing as a props to the task card. So here we have a task card in the component, right? So here we have a task card in the component, and here we are passing the task and edit two props, right? The task and edit. So task is the data that we have fetched, and the edit is the function. So this edit function is coming from the this open edit model, and it will get the data, right? And in the dashboard on the edit, here we can see that in the edit we have another thing, like one important thing, key. When you are mapping, and it will update only the edit only the task that has a specific id, right? So it will edit with that id, right? And after that, here to open the model task, so task equal to selected task. So how it will select the task? So here we have created a use state variable, and here we have passed set is model open false, and is open is model open. So these two functions that we have created above, and in the task model that we have created the model, so it will open and close based on the data passed as a props. So here we are passing is open close and the task, right? So here I have passed is open close and the task, the selected task, right? If it has selected the task, so it will show the data of that task to update, right? It will show in the model, right? And set open model fast to close that, and here is open to model open the model, right? So this how we have seen that how we can show all this that task card, right? This task card on this UI, right? So here is the task model, the task card. So all this task card is showing, and this task card that we have created from this all this component that we have created above, and showing in our dashboard, and we are performing all the action, right? So let's build a last page profile profile.tsx. So we have to build a profile.tsx. So RAFC create react error function. So what is in the profile? So let's go for the profile. So here when I click on profile, I will go to the profile, and it will show the name what I have named. Suppose I want to change to Becodewala. So I have to click on save change, and it will say profile update is when I go on the dashboard and I come back, so it will show me the big order because it is saved to the database. It is showing from our database. Then email cannot be there because it is unique. You are using this unique email ID to log in, right? So that it is showing the data according to your email, right? And here current password, new password, confirm password. So to change the password, you can use the current password. What is your current password? You can enter new password and confirm new password. So all these things we have to build, right? So let's build our profile, and after building this profile, we will run our project and we will see. So let's complete this part also, right? So we will import all the things that we need in our application. So I'll just copy and paste, like you selected that we need in our React Redux, right? And here the type is missing, type root state app dispatch from the store. Then here we have to use the store slices auth slices to update the profile, and then we have axios error from the axios. So these things we have imported. Then we are creating the error response. So if any error will come, so that will create an interface, right, that we have created in the other profile also. Now we will import and create our state and action. So here I've imported, just use app dispatch. So here I am using the use selector to select my user, right, and in the loading state from our store, right, here is the dark we are selecting from our theme slice, right, and we have selected that, and then we have using dispatch to perform some action, and the name that we display on our profile, see, name, email, and the current password. Name, current password, and email cannot be changed, that's why we have not written here. And new password, confirm new password, and message. What is this message for? For showing the message on our UI, right? So when we update, so let me copy and paste and show you the other function. So let's write a handle submit. So in this handle submit, what we are doing, right, so here we are guessing, and we are wanting default and the set message null. So we are not changing something, then before that it will be state like this, right, the message will be empty, means it we have not updated. When you updating, right, it is showing message that we have updated. So suppose I updated, so it will show profile updated successfully, right. So this message will show only if you change, right, before it will not show. So for that we have written, if new password and then the new password not equal to confirm password, so it will show password does not match. So if you type wrong password, it will show the password does not match, right. And let me copy, and here we have used try catch block. So how we are going to update profile, so we are using dispatch some actions, we are performing action on update profile. This coming from our store that we have created, right, in the previous video, right. If you don't want the previous video, go and check that, otherwise you will not able to understand this. So this update profile will call our API and will update with this input function name, current password we can update, and here we have to unwrap that, otherwise it will some it will give some error. And here we are using the message like profile updated successfully, and the current set current password and the new password empty, and the set confirm password empty. So we have to empty after updating, we don't want to show our password. So if any error, it will show the error, right, access error. So in updating our profile, now we will see our JSX. So in this div we have to create another div, and in this div we have create h2 tag, right, and in h2 tag we will write profile setting. So here you can go and see the profile setting, this profile setting, right, the profile setting. So this profile setting heading we have written here. So first let's style our first div. So max width 2xl, and mx auto we are making responsiveness so that it will look great. And now let's build our this div. So in this div, if it is dark, so some other background color, right, text and everything, right. So for that we have to write this, if it dark background this text will be this, otherwise so this, right. So these are the normal style we are using, right, that we have seen a lot of time before. And then style our profile setting text, you can see that text to excel font bold and margin from button will be 6, right. Then after this h2 tag we can show the message. After this only we are showing the message profile updated successfully, right? So this message is not appearing because you have not written the function. You can write the function set timeout, so it will remove within 3 or 4 seconds. You can update the time after writing the function. You can write the, we have to remove this set timeout with the 3 or 4 seconds, right? You can, this is your task, you can go and do it. It's just simple JavaScript. And we have to write the same thing that we have used in before, like if it is, let me copy and paste and show you, right? So here, if message, if message is there, if any message, right, profile update successful, if it is message is there, how it will show? It will show like success, include success, and background. You can see that the profile updated successfully, right? And background green. And if it is not success, it will show this. So only the on the success part it will show this. Suppose write some wrong thing, and let me try to upset, see password does not match. So this is not the success, right? So see the style, it is showing red background, right? So this how we can write it. So message dot include success, then it will show this, otherwise show this if it is any error, right? Now we will create a form tag. See, so in this form tag, when user will submit, right, we want to update, so on submit, handle submit. So this function will update. So this we have created handle submit, it will update the profile data. Then we have to use class name space from y6, and after that we have to write a div. So in this we will show all the input fields, div, and in this div label that we have created in the previous, the similarly we have to create a label for this, and we can write the name, right? So let me copy paste and show you. So here we have a label like name, so we have to show the name, and we can style it like this. Then we have a input, right? Whatever the user is input, we have to track using user state, right? So let me close this. So here we have a input. Why it is showing error? So let close this. We have extra div, right? So if input type text and the value will be name, whatever the user is saying, and this value will set by the set name function whatever the user is typing, right? And e is the event when the user is typing something in the input box to change the name here, right? So now we have to similarly write for the email also. So we have created this div for this. So let me format the document so it will so look good. Then after this we have to create another div for the email cannot be, and this email value will not set it by the user type, it will come from the our database, right? Our database that store has a store is the reader store, the user dot email, right? And use optional chaining, right? Suppose if it's taking time, and so using a singer, so use optional chaining, right? The question mark icon, so it is better to use, right? So after this inform tag, whatever, what are the other things we have? Change password icon, sorry, heading, and the current password field, new password, and confirm new password field, and the save change button, right? So we'll create a div first, and in this div we'll write the class name, and in this class name border top and padding from 6, and then we can write the heading, right? We can write the heading, right? S3 tag change password, right? And after that we'll have to create a div, and in this div, let me format the document. So in this div we have to write the label that we have written before, right? Similarly we have to do here also. No extra thing we are doing, some label, right? The current password that is, and the input field, right? Type password, and this password will track by the hours. You just set current password will update this function, this all this variable with this e target value means the user has typed value in the input box, right? And after this we have a another for the confirm a set new password, right? So we can write d for the set new password, and another d for the like for the set confirm password. And here one thing you notice, right? Here we have written the mean length 6 means we have to write minimum 6 character. The password should be minimum of length 6. It will be make character or number whatever it is, but it's had should have a mean length 6, minimum length of 6, right? So after this we have a save button, right? You can see that the save button here, the save changes. So to do that we have to here in the form tag only, right? In the form tag we have to create a button, and here using this div flex justify in we have created a div, right? And in this div we have created a button in type submit disable when it is loading. So when we are updating, the profile button will be disabled. Suppose let me remove this, we don't want to update the password. So here I want to update, so when I updating the save changes will be disabled, see, for a fraction of second, because it is doing so fast, that is, so that time when it will be disabled, right, when it is updating, so that user will not able to type and again click on save changes and again calling our APIs. See, then here we can have loading. If it is loading, it is show saving, otherwise it will show save changes. So here you can see that save changes, you can save this, other if it is saving it will show saving. You can see that the saving it is showing, see. So that's I was showing you. So we have completed our profile also, right? So let me check our project is running or not. So let me running or not, let me npm run dev. So let me run our project, frontend project, and let me check. So so here our current project that we have built right now, that is not showing, it has some error, right? So we will fix that. So one thing we have missed, the main thing we have missed. So the main thing, let me close this server. So main thing that we have missed is app.tsx. How we can miss that app.tsx? So here in the app.tsx we have, you can see that it is empty, right? We have to show our components, right? So let me import everything that we need on app.tsx. So we need browser router, right? So react router down it is coming from, so that when we are clicking we are going to the other path, this path, those path. So what is, who is doing this? React router dom. Then provider from the React reader. So to use React readers we have to use provider, right? And wrap our component with our provider, right? That's why it was showing the error. Like here you can see that wrap app in a provider, right? Then store is coming from our store, and then private routes, and the layout, dashboard, login, register, and profile, all these things we need our, we need an our app.tsx. Now here we will write everything. So let me wrap in a provider first. Provider. So here is our provider, and in this it is showing error because we have to pass the store so that it has our store data, right? Store. So and here we have to write our router. So router. So in this router we have to write all the routes that we are building. So routes. So in this route the we'll write the first route. So in the first route we'll write the login page. So to path. In link we used to, here we'll write path. Which path? Login. So on this path we have to show the login component. Which element? Here to write the element, and we have to pass the element in the curly braces login. So here I want to show the this login component. Here I want to show login component on this path. If you want to show profile component on the profile path, we have to pass the profile component, right? So similarly we have to pass the other things, like I want to show the like a register on the slash register page. I want to show the layout on this slash page, but we have more and more important thing. So let me create a route, another route. So in this route what we will do, so we have to pass index. So I will show you. We are passing index, and in this index we have to passing elements. And what are the elements we are passing? We are passing the private routes. So private route dashboard, and here we are wrapping our dashboard in our private route. Why? So we want to show our dashboard only with the user is login, right? We don't want to show our dashboard on the for the other user, right? So here we are using index because the index that we are using is a special kind of child route. It is a special kind of child route that render by default when no other child route match. If no other child route will match, then it will show this by default, means the dashboard. So on the slash page on the 5173 localhost we are showing this dashboard by default, right? If no path has been matched, right? So for that we are using this. So it is often used to show a default component in the nested root layout, right? So that's why using the index here. So that it will show by default. And but we don't want to show default in our profile, right? We want to show default on our dashboard only, right? So for the route for our profile we'll write here, and here let me pass the route, and here we can pass the profile in the private route. Who can access the profile route? Only the private. So who is accessing the profile? Who is the login user? The private route is protected, right? Protecting our profile route, right? And here we are not passing because it is not a default path. So for the default routing we are using this index. Here we are not using default, we are past the route, right? The profile route. So this how we have passed our, we have written our app.tsx. So now we will run and check. So it is showing the data that we have already logged in, but you can see that our navbar is not showing, right? and it is see not responsive. See, we have mismatch, right? So we have to fix all these things. Our neighbor is not showing, right? So no error in the console, but some tailwind classes that we have built wrong. So we will fix that. And here you can see that I've written, see how we have written. So it is showing the function only. So we have to fix all these things. So we are doing our wrong thing. We have to use route and we have to use only one. So here only we have to use as a closing tag. So here do not create it the extra closing route. So pass is here only, then also it does not fixed. Oh, we are doing mistake here. In the layout we have to show the neighbor and the both, right? And here we have to pass a, we have to remove this slash from here and to pass the route here, route. Now see, yeah, now it is fixed. We are protecting this route, right? And in the layout all these are this we have discussed, right, in the before only, right? The dashboard and the profile are the our children component, right? So in the children component we have to wrap it in a single route. In this route we are passing this, in the slash route it's showing this, and in this only we are using slash profile for the protected profile. These both are children, and we have passed element as a layout, right? So we have to pass the, in this we are passing outside of this route, right? When we pass the layout we have to pass inside only, because we are using outlet, right? In the component in the layout we are using outlet here for the children, and the neighbor will be common, right? So here we have to pass in a single route the slash path. In the layout we are passing the layout, the inside of this route we have to pass this dashboard and the profiler, because these are the children, we have to not pass the outside. That's why it was not showing, right? Now we have a fix a, we have fixed some issue. So here some tailwinds classes maybe we have written wrong, so we will fix that also, right? It is now responsive. So maybe we have written in outside of our parent, but we have fixed that, we have fixed the responsiveness of our. So here we have to fix from classes, right? So we'll fix that also. So these are the simple thing, but we are getting our data. And the profile is totally fine. You can see that profile. Let me update to Becodewala. So profile updated successfully. It will go and come back, you can see your profile, right? It is totally fine. And some tailwind css classes that we have fixed, and logout we have to fix, right? So on the light mode. So these are the simple css. I will fix this, and I will give you the source code of whole your whole pages and component on the GitHub. You can go and check out and give a star on the GitHub and follow on our GitHub, so you can check it out whole source code. So I will fix this some tailwind classes, right? And this the function. So in the card maybe you have not written the correct function, so for that you see that we have not written as a function, see, to uppercase, so that's why it was showing the error here. Right now it has been fixed, and we can mark is a completed and uncompleted. So it has completed, so it is marked completed. If you want to uncomplete it, it will uncomplete it. If you want to make it complete, you can complete it. Let me open the model. So it is not opening the model, so we will fix all these things, and we will upload the source code on the GitHub. So see you in the next video, and we will see all this deployment on everything, and I will fix this color issue, and I will update on GitHub. So you can see that it is showing in the bottom, right? So we have to fix the styling, just a styling we have missed, right? So we have to fix that, and we will see you in the next video. So hope you guys like the video, subscribe the channel, and don't forget to share with your friends. In the next part we will deploy this project with the fixed version. So I will fix this, and I will share you the code on the GitHub, so don't worry. So thank you.